So there's a couple of things that really make working with your virtual assistant a seamless process. And these are the same things that can also make the experience of working with your virtual assistant a really stressful process. I'm just gotten off the phone with my virtual assistant, and one of the things that I do is schedule regular weekly, actually bi-weekly meetings with my virtual assistant. So that's step number one, to really make the whole experience of working with a virtual assistant awesome, is working or setting up regular meetings with them. And they're not business meetings, they're personal meetings. They're meetings, they don't have to be long, but just meetings to say, hey, like, how are you? What are you up to right now? What's exciting in your life? What books are you reading? Just learning about your virtual assistant and what their life is like, where they live, what they do with their spare time, what they're interested in. Learning about that and then sharing about yourself, what you're into, what you're excited about this weekend, or what you're excited about in your business. Just having, say, maybe a half-hour conversation to check in with one another on a bi-weekly or monthly basis just makes the whole process of working together as a team that much easier, right? Because then you start to understand each other from another level, from a personal level, right? So you start to understand your cultural backgrounds, your cultural differences, you understand the communication. They have an opportunity to share with you if, say, something's confusing for them or something's not working. You're creating a space where they feel comfortable in just connecting with you and talking with you. And you're creating a space where you feel comfortable sharing with them if something's maybe needs adjusted, or if you have plans for the coming month that you of some new project you want to get into, you can let them know so they're prepped and they're ready for it. And there's just so much more clarity on both ends of the spectrum. Now the second thing, besides the personal meetings, is understanding the cultural differences and the cultural background of your virtual assistant. Being that they're virtual, 9 times out of 10, this assistant is in another country, right? Or at least the virtual assistants that I often recommend my clients work with are people that are on the other side of the world. And it's very exciting in many ways to work with people on the other side of the world. You get to understand a whole different way of looking at things. You get to experience helping them, say, work from home and create their own business and be a freelancer. You get to kind of open up a new world of possibilities for them. And they get to be open, or get to open up a whole new world of possibilities for you in their ideas, in their insights, and what they have to share with you. But that being said, working with someone from a different country means they have a different culture. They have a different way of approaching things when they get stressed out. They have a different way of, say, handling a situation when they feel anxious or nervous, or maybe they want to tell you that they're not comfortable with a certain task, but they're not sure how to tell you that, so perhaps they might just giggle a lot or smile a whole lot when they're on a conversation with you, and maybe they're actually uncomfortable, or maybe they want to tell you that they're not clear on a task, but they don't know how to appropriately say that, so they just don't say anything. I know my experience in the past when I've screwed up working with virtual assistants has been when there was a misunderstanding where I, say, have requested a certain job or task to be done, and the virtual assistant didn't want to tell me that they didn't quite understand, so instead they just did the best they could, and then the results I get back are just completely not what I wanted, and I'm thinking, oh, what is this person thinking? Like, that wasn't what I asked for at all, psh, and then I get upset, and then I, fire them, and then blah, blah, blah. That happened multiple times, and I've seen that happen quite a lot with my friends that have gotten into outsourcing, where they get back results that aren't what you were expecting, and then they're either upset or they're angry, or they start to, say, chastise the virtual assistant, and then the assistant feels like they, were working with someone that's very difficult to work with, and both parties end up frustrated. So to avoid that is just to acknowledge the culture that your virtual assistant's coming from. Maybe they're coming from an Indian culture, or a Filipino culture, or a Dominican culture. Each of these cultures has nuances for how they handle situations where they're uncomfortable, or situations with strangers, or when they feel embarrassed or awkward. And so just knowing that helps you to go a long way towards communicating and not feeling offended if, say, something doesn't go right, or being extra clear in your communication of how you want something and your expectations, so they're like 10 times more clear on what you want, and then asking them, say back to me what I just said. Can you explain to me what you think I want from this project so that I can hear back and check and see if there's anything here that you don't understand, right? Just asking them if they get it and to describe back to you the task that you've just assigned to them really goes a long way to helping you see if they're clear or not. And then if they're giggling nervously or laughing when they're talking with you in a way that feels like it's not businesslike or something, just appreciate that's just them trying to handle their level of discomfort with talking with you and kind of make moves towards helping them feel more comfortable with approaching you. So these are the two things, that communicating with your assistant and then just acknowledging where they're coming from and starting to appreciate the cultural differences can go a long way towards making a really seamless relationship with your virtual assistant that has you guys working together as a team for many years to come. Thanks for watching. If you have more questions about outsourcing, or if you want tips or more sort of insights on how to maybe start working with a virtual assistant if you never have before, check out my blog at outsourcingdoneforyou.com. Thank you.